Our weekly live segment, so no outtakes, don't screw this up, Will, where we're talking about a different topic every week that relates to entrepreneurialism, specifically veteran entrepreneurialism. And this week is our Marketing Monday show. So we've got some good marketing feedback for you today about marketing specifically for startups. And we've got Christine coming to us live from, what's the conference?
Yeah, so we're going to cut to Christine, the CMO here at Bunker Labs. She's at Inbound in Boston right now, which is a meeting and conference hosted by HubSpot, kind of the forefront in digital marketing services. And we'll talk a little bit about digital marketing in the context of veterans and what kinds of services that HubSpot provides for veterans. So we have Evan DiLeo. He's an Air Force veteran from HubSpot, and we'll patching them in about 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, live on the big screen.
Live on the big screen from Boston, Mass.
Yeah. So marketing. So how is...
I think before we jump into it, Kirby, do you want to introduce yourself? I don't think the rest of the team, anybody's ever seen you before on the breakdown yet. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to replace Todd today. So I'm trying to just sneak right in here in his absence. So I'm Kirby Atwell. I'm the COO of Bunker Labs here. So, but I also have owned a couple of businesses myself in the past. So I have a little bit of marketing experience for entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm. And I'm Justin Walker. I'm here with the executive director of the Chicago Bunker Labs location. So, and we've got Will Crane.
Yeah, and I have been on a couple in the past, but I don't know. We'll see what happens in the future. But
I'm Will. Everybody knows who we are.
Yeah, Will Crane, CTO here at Bunker Labs. And then what's also kind of interesting is that us three are kind of like a core three that kind of came in really early on as members first here at Bunker Labs. So we were all. Yeah. In the kind of like the first original cohort here in Chicago, ragtag crew of
that's right.
Entrepreneurial crushers.
I don't know about
that.
Yeah. So I think maybe a good place to start with some of this, this marketing conversation would maybe just talk about a little bit about some of the things that's going on with a lot of the students that we see come in, and I'd be happy to kind of toss out some things that we oftentimes see here at the Bunker with super early stage startups. And again, like super early stage idea phase startups will oftentimes come in with a huge slew of things and strategies that they think they need to implement. But would love to touch base on a couple of those points and then maybe get some insights from you fellas, and then we'll hear from the HubSpot growth strategist team from Boston here in a few minutes. But what do you guys think?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so a couple of the things. One of the first things, there's some vocabulary here that I've learned over the past few years by coming downtown and being part of the Bunker Labs community and learning from subject matter experts in the marketing industries. But one of those terms is omnidirectional marketing. And it's something that basically super early stage startups will come in to the programs here, and they will just have this marketing strategy that leads them into 50 different directions. So, content marketing, brand marketing, you've got, all your social media, your websites, and then it just constantly, it goes on and on and on. And would love to get your guys' thoughts in regards to kind of early stage startup approach, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about what some of the other people are doing as well on top of that. But because there's a lot of money being spent and then a lot of time being spent when you're moving in 100 different areas. Mm-hmm. But I would love to propose that as a topic there. But,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, what are some things you may have experienced?
In starting a business?
No, yeah. I mean, in starting your own business or some of the things you also see.
And just to the companies that go through programs here, and myself personally, I like to think of myself as a brand guy. Like I like to spend a lot of time doing stuff that probably
his last company's name was Brand. So
it's called Brand.
That's why we're laughing. That's why it's a little bit of a pun.
Yes, I spent a lot of time doing non-revenue generating activity, like making cool flyers and like spending tons and tons of time on pitch deck. Never even thinking to Google, marketing services or something. So countless hours wasted. Trying to make an Instagram page look awesome, or try to go, create like a viral video. Like these are not ways that can help you, generate revenue.
Spending like $100 on boosting a Facebook
right,
post,
exactly.
Like a random.
So, I think that understanding how to allocate your time for marketing, which is extremely important for your business, but understanding like how to spend your time. And you have a good stat. I don't know off the top of my head.
Oh, 6 hours, like 6 hours of time per week. If you're going to go that route
for marketing, just in general.
Well, no, it's for social. That's just social media, not including everything else.
6 hours a week.
Yeah,
see,
just
like
social media. Yeah.
But like, how do you like audit that time, or how do you be economical with your time and like put it? So like I would be like today, Monday is social media day, and then it's like you lose. I mean, there's just no structure. So I spent a boatload of time doing stuff like that. Learned my lessons since, but that was. First
when you say learn your lesson, like what does that mean to you?
I don't spend my time doing things that are not value added for exactly. Yeah. So
what about you, Kirby?
So I'll be kind of the counterpoint to Brand here because in the beginning, when I was first starting my first business, I listened to a lot of advice on how much money I should be spending on marketing. So I just started deploying all this money on marketing because I was seeing what maybe more established businesses were doing, and I just tried to copy that and then scale it. And I totally overlooked all the free stuff that was out there. I mean, so when I started my second business, I totally focused in on the free stuff, and that's one of my hacks for today. Actually, at the end, I was going to mention it, but I used services like Haro to help a reporter out where they'll write an article about you for free. All these reporters are looking for articles to write, and it's way cheaper and way more effective than if you were to pay for ads saying how great you are. This is a reporter who should be impartial talking about what you're doing, and you're just telling them about what you're doing, and they're writing about it. So stuff like that, or free, social media. All that stuff. Start there. If you're a startup, I'm a huge believer in making money before you start spending money.
Right.
I'm actually going to go even farther backwards than that. Before you go spend money on or even time on a lot of this stuff. One of the things that we really noticed also is that from all the subject matter experts that come in is they really talk about going out and just doing the thing it is you want to do. And again, these are super early stage startups that are trying to do something, not more established companies that have been doing things for a while. But as a super early stage startup, go out, do the thing it is you say you want to do. As you're doing that, you're basically testing the market. And then as you're testing the market on all your different assumptions, because you have this huge list of assumptions about everything that's going on with your business. So as you're learning that, you can start to essentially just co-create your marketing strategy with your partners, with your advisors, with your customers. And as you're developing that strategy, then you can take it back and then you can apply it in the same context. Then you can start building, these plans around Haro and even going a little bit further, aside from just getting the free stuff and then start getting to a point where you're actually paying for stuff, which you're going to hear a little bit more about HubSpot in a few minutes. But you can even get to a point where you're what am I saying? You can even get to a point where you're actually I lost my point. I lost my train of thought as soon as this guy walked in. Sorry, we'll get back to it in a minute. Maybe I'll come back to it.
We'll come back after Christine goes on.
Oh, I got it. We're back. Earned media.
Yes.
So earned media. So as you're out doing this, as you're out meeting with partners, meeting with people and testing your idea and building that marketing strategy, you can get to a point where you have built enough relationships over X period of time, and those can be with reporters, they can be with organizations like HubSpot, they can be with other people that run podcasts, other companies, and you can oftentimes find yourself being requested to come and do all these different types of interviews, and that itself, back to your point, it can start getting some exposure from alternative perspectives that again a lot of people just don't think about. So
absolutely,
yeah.
Awesome. So should we cut to Boston?
Yeah. So at this point, we are going to do a. We'll just see what happens here. Cut to Boston. All right. We are live here. Christine?
How are you guys?
Never better.
Right on. Well, today we're in Boston for the Inbound Marketing Conference, just like the guys at HQ. Hi, Evan DiLeo. He's in charge of the part of HubSpot where it is specifically geared towards veterans, so HubSpot for veterans. Evan, can you tell me a little bit about your military background?
Yeah, totally. I was born and raised in New Orleans. Now I live in Boston. People still complain about the weather, just the opposite end of the spectrum. But yeah, I went to the Air Force Academy, was a captain when I got out after 8 years, and then just did a bunch of startup stuff around here, tooled around, finally picked up by my saving grace, HubSpot.
Awesome. And then tell us a little bit about where we are in this crazy, crazy conference. You can see in the background here.
Yeah, I'm still around out, finally got it myself, actually. So this is my second year sound HubSpot. I mean, we've got Michelle Obama.
Awesome. And then tell us a little bit about where we are in this crazy, crazy conference. You can see in the background here. Right on. Awesome. And then can you tell us a little bit more specifically about what the HubSpot for Veterans program is? And then tell us a little bit about where we are in this crazy, crazy conference. You can see in the background here. Awesome. And then can you tell us a little bit more specifically?
And out of this, I realized that a lot of the same best practices could really be repurposed towards assisting veterans making a transition or just veteran-owned businesses themselves. And I drew upon my own first-hand experience there, and that it took me about 3 years, give or take, to successfully get to a position of full responsibility. So what I want to do is just really shorten that transition time, enablement. The key word there.
Right on. That's awesome. And so we're really excited to be able to be a part of the HubSpot for Veterans program and be able to help bring that to everyone that's in our community and all the companies that are in our programs and just in our community in general. And we're really hoping with this amazing platform. And you know, the whole week here is really meant about not just HubSpot and just the software itself, but really learning like the tips, tricks, tools, and everything about marketing, whether it's SEO or whether it's lead generation through email campaigns, or all of the talk this week so far. I mean, it's only Monday, but all the talk so far has been about chatbots and video. You can see we're experimenting with video as well, and this is kind of meta. But what do you think are some of the other key topics that veterans in particular should be focused on when they're thinking about marketing their startups and their businesses?
Yeah, great question. I would say, first of all, just recognizance that you're only a translator going from the military world to the civilian world. And one of the key challenges with not only there's so much good stuff out there, the key sort of agent, either online or in person, maybe someone or an organization that has been there, and really following from there.
Awesome. And then one final question. So we're talking about tools, tips, tricks, hacks. We do this segment every week. Do you have any suggested hacks or tools, tips that you want to help give our community?
I'm so glad you asked. Well, obviously I work at HubSpot. That's the disclaimer. But HubSpot Academy is completely free. Sales, marketing courses, and it's not just software stuff. It's actual like business training. That, and it comes along with totally free tools. I think it's a fantastic source just to start, get your head in the game, as well as start marketing your online presence like almost immediately. Beyond that, Startup Tools by Steve Blank is a great resource as well. You'll probably find all that you need from there. It's quite a lot.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I want to say that my hack for this week is going to networking events, and especially conferences like HubSpot's Inbound. If you can't make it to Inbound, if you're not that geared up on marketing like all 40,000 of us here are, there's tons of different kinds of conferences, trade shows that are in every kind of industry. Make sure that you're partaking in those, because I have met some of the most amazing people at these conferences, whether it's in the industry or outside my industry, and long-lasting contacts and relationship building. So that's my hack. And back to you guys in Chicago.
Back to Chicago.
Back to Chicago. Just a quick quick trip from Boston. Welcome back.
Thank you, everybody, for being patient with us as we attempt to run this operation.
There's a slight audio issue there in the middle, I think, but you guys got the gist. So, free veteran resources.
Via HubSpot, HUBSPOT.
The HubSpot Academy thing looks pretty incredible.
Yeah, they have tons and tons and tons of online classes to teach you a huge, a massive variety of different things, and that's beyond just marketing.
I'm personally going to be diving into that
Yeah.
as soon as we're done on this. I'm pretty
Yeah,
excited.
and the link is posted, right, in the comments?
Yes, links posted in the comments.
Awesome.
And yeah, thank you, Evan and Christine. Hope you're having fun in Boston. Should we just dive into our hacks for the week?
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
let's
Let's do it.
Some quick hacks to help you out.
Yeah, you want to go first, Will?
Why not? Yeah, so I recently discovered, I'm not a big reader. I like to read articles, but I like to listen to podcasts. So I recently found a podcast called How I Made This, and it's about how huge, names you know in your house, startups like WeWork, Airbnb, Tom's Shoes, how they all got started. And it's a one-on-one interview with the co-founders or founders of these companies, and you hear what their life was like when they were hustling. Airbnb sold cereal to pay for for any of the things they needed. They sold these things called Obama O's cereal. Mm-hmm. They were, generated some money doing that to pay for stuff. They also said they had a baseball card holder full of credit cards that they had maxed out. So you find out all the little the weird little stories that made these startups, and you kind of hear their aha moments and all that stuff. So it's called How I Made This with Guy Raz is the guy who hosts it. It's a really interesting podcast, and I suggest you listen to it. Get some motivation.
Do this.
I don't know if anybody's maybe somebody is. Maybe it's an opportunity for you.
Maybe. You want to go next? Or
sure. I think one of the most effective things that I've dove into a little bit is Seth Godin's books. So get your hand on any one of his. Permission Marketing. There's Purple Cow is another one. I think I'm working on another one right now called Small Things Matter or something like that. So, but every single one of his books has some sort of illuminating piece to it that can really help you almost at any stage of your business. So I would grab yourself one of his books and just start going through his whole slew of marketing strategies and opportunities to get involved with some other things that he's got going on as well.
Yeah, the dip was huge for me.
Yeah, the dip, another good one.
Big one.
And these are quick reads too. They're
Poke the box
100
is
pages
100
long.
pages.
And they're little tiny books too.
Yeah.
So just take a look at those. They're easy for me to read. Some of them have pictures.
Yeah.
So along the marketing vein today, I already kind of mentioned it, but HARO, H-A-R-O, it stands for Help a Reporter Out. This was a website that was created, several years ago. And if you're in marketing, I'm sure you know this. This is like old news, but if you're not, it's an awesome site where you can go and sign up for a daily email where they send you all the topics that they're looking for a subject matter expert to comment on. So they'll say, we need a real estate expert to talk to us about student housing or something, and that might be your niche. And so you can send them your comments on it, and then they'll put it into blogs and stuff. So I've been in several blogs, different online platforms, just from submitting different things along the way. So it's pretty cool, and it's all free, and there's no better marketing than someone else talking about your business. So.
And it all comes from relationship building.
Yeah.
You got to get out. You got to get off the computer and out and about, and go knocking on some doors sometimes. So don't feel like you just have to stay on your computer the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're watching the breakdown.
Unless you're watching the breakdown.
That's right.
That's it.
I know, seriously. I have this funny little quote. I'm sure some people saw this on the internet recently, but it's 15 years ago, the internet was escape from reality, and now reality is an escape from the internet today. So just think about that for a couple hours if you can. Wrap your head around that.
Just blew my mind, Will.
And then, it's 85 degrees outside in Chicago right now on a beautiful sunny day, so maybe we should get off the internet.
Yeah, let's do
That's
that.
right.
All right, team.
All right.
Good stuff.
Thanks. Should we give them the last of it?
Yeah, we should.
So. All right.
Go ahead,
Ready?
do it.
Remember, a year from now, you're going to wish you had started today, so take action.
That's right. Curtis famous words. So slow clap it out.
All right. See you next week.